and welcome to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Paul Roberts. Paul is President and CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. I love being in the studio with you, Cynthia, and we got some good information for all our viewers out there today.
We definitely do. Every week that we're together in the studio, we're always sharing information that people are saying they're not getting from anywhere else, not any other source. And so it's very refreshing to hear the advice that you're giving the viewers at home, and people are really appreciative of that. They're obviously emailing in questions, and let me just see if I have the email address correct. It's info@robertswealthms.com.
Yes, ma'am.
For all
That's it.
questions.
Yep.
So on average, how many questions are you getting a week now, Paul?
I'm not sure weekly, but I know that we're getting it stays within the 200 to 300 monthly range.
Wow.
So yeah, it's great. We're getting way more questions than we have time to answer on the radio or television show or to get through. So my team is proactively jumping on these questions and just answering people and getting back to them and letting them know, hey, we're not ignoring you and we want to answer your question. So we're going to go ahead and answer it because it may not get on the show for a while because we're a little backlogged. We're getting so many of them right now.
Sure, that makes perfect sense. Is there one topic that kind of resonates with everyone over anything else?
Yeah, I tell you, the biggest topic that we're hearing about is taxes and inflation.
Yeah.
Two topics, the two areas that we're hearing the most about. Inflation and taxes, state of the economy, where we're at, what are things happening, you know. What I find is I really enjoy the questions a lot more now because you can tell that they're coming to people who tune into our radio and television shows because it's not your typical questions all the time. You know, our questions in the beginning used to be the typical financial questions or how's an IRA taxed or, you know, what is your Social Security at this age? Now we're getting a lot more questions of what is the economic outlook going forward? Where are we at? You know, what do you think about taxes? Where do you think about inflation? What are some things we need to be aware of? Is one I've seen a lot lately is it a good time to purchase real estate or should I hold off and wait? You know, but it's just the way the questions are coming. It tells you that it's people who have tuned in and listened to us because their question would not be originated in that manner or that form. You know, if they weren't viewers and listeners.
That makes perfect sense. So I have to say, obviously, you're so passionate about reaching the public and actually doing workshops. Let's talk about workshops and events for a little bit this segment.
Oh yeah, great. We like I said, my whole sole purpose at this point in life is just the messenger. There are a lot of messages. There's a lot of information that needs to get to the public. There's a lot of conversations that are not being had, that should be being had, that are vital to society and you know, our financial future and things of that nature. And so we like to say at Roberts Wealth Management, we boldly go where no other man goes. We, you know, if these are serious topics and conversations, why is no one talking about them?
Yeah.
Isn't that scary? Why don't we just open the table for the conversations, right? For example, like you said, events. We just had in July, well, been a while now, but in July, we had what we call our Future Forward client event. And that's an event that we have started last year, big hit, clients love it, but what we do is we do it twice a year. We do it in January and we do it in July at mid-year. And it is simply, all of our clients are invited, they come. Our last Future Forward event, we had 200 and something clients show up, highly successful, great event. We feed them, we spend some time with them, and then we get up and we talk to them. And we spent an hour talking, well, about 20 minutes talking about the team, the company, the expansion of the team, introducing them to all the new team members, their roles, what they do for them, what the company, we involve our client base in our company plans, our future plans, what are our growth plans, what are we doing, where are we going, how are we growing as a company, and then we invite them all to give us input and questions, and it's a pretty open round table. It went over wonderfully. The clients asked a lot of good questions, gave us a lot of really good insight, helped us improve in a lot of ways. And then we spent about an hour talking about, because it's a Future Forward event, right? What is the economic outlook and the financial world outlook going forward? What are some threats and things people need to be aware of, or what are some conversations that need to be spoken of that are not being ignored or tabled, side tabled. We had a tremendous response to that. All of our clients, many clients. It was a very, very good feeling that night because I had
Yeah.
several people come up to me and say, "Thank you so much for boldly saying what everyone out there is scared to say and what we all need to hear and we all need to understand about where things are going and what I need to do to prepare myself and my family." And it's time for Americans to start having difficult conversations at the dinner table,
Yeah.
difficult conversations with their financial professionals, difficult conversations with their employer. It's time to start discussing things that people don't want to discuss because they're not always the easiest things to look at. Right?
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about that because obviously we've talked in the past about how COVID affected us in just a global aspect, if you will, but especially our U.S. economy. So what do you see going forward due to that impact, Paul?
It's going to be difficult. I'm not going to, paint a picture that isn't real with
Yeah.
people. I want everybody to understand, I am not a person who lives in fear. I have zero fear. I don't fear change. I don't fear the future. And I'm very much an optimist. And I think beautiful change is going to come out of everything. But everything's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. And it's going to be very difficult. In previous shows, we kind of started touching on the pandemic and how we've not seen the lagging economic effects of the pandemic yet. For instance, they just renewed the, what was terminology for it, the rental agreement that Congress has out
Yes.
there, right?
Yeah.
So this mandate that, on renters, that nobody can evict a renter, well, how long can they continue that? And
Yeah,
how long will
yeah.
that go for? Well, one or two things are going to happen here. Something's going to break, right?
Sure.
Either they got to eliminate that law and stop protecting renters and give landlords back the power, or all the landlords are going to go broke.
Yeah.
And so one of the two situations, neither outcome is good,
Sure.
right? And so how is that going to roll into our economy? Well, we're going to see, foreclosures. We're going to see
Yeah.
a lot of companies going bankrupt, a lot of people going broke. Rental markets are going to go through the roof. Housing prices are going to fall, and real estate prices are going to fall through the bottom. There's just so much
Yeah.
going on that I don't want to be a pessimist or paint a bad picture for people, but at the same time, you got to be a realist about what's going on, right?
Sure.
In a prior show, we talked about, I know just in our Gulf Coast area, all of my clients and a lot of people are out there telling me that there are hundreds of employees who are walking out of the hospitals due to the vaccine mandate.
Yeah.
Well, how is that hospital going to function missing hundreds of employees?
Exactly.
What type of ripple effect is that going to have through the community and through the economy?
Absolutely.
And then where are those people going to find employment,
Yeah.
right? So there is so much to come that is not being spoken about. We like to put our heads in the sand like ostriches and pretend like everything around us is fine and just keep going. And it's time for people to be bold enough to have the conversations and say, these are the things, no, we're not discussing, we're not talking about, but are coming. Are you prepared for them? And what are you going to do when the time comes for you to make decisions?
Well, Paul, I know you have a special offer that you would like to present to the
Always.
viewers at home. Let's talk about that and open the phone lines.
Always. There's a lot of people sitting at home right now, and you're saying, he is right. There are a lot of questions and discussions that need to be brought to the table. If you haven't gotten a second opinion on your current financial situation in the last few years, this is a vital time to get that second opinion. Here's our offer. What we're going to do is for the next 15 callers who have saved at least $250,000 for retirement, we will give you a one-on-one consultation in our office with one of our all-star advisors who you're going to love. They're going to have your best interest at mind. It's going to be one of the most meaningful meetings you have ever had on your personal finances. Here's what to expect. We will start by doing a portfolio analysis of your current situation, analyze your risk, your performance. Not only that, what are the fees and commissions in that portfolio? Not just the ones that they tell you about. What are the buried fees and commissions that you're unaware of? Let's bring them to the surface so and you have the information to know if you're making a good decision and if you're getting enough bang for your buck. Are you paying too much for too little, or are you paying too little for too much? you will know after this analysis, you'll know what you look like going forward, what type of risk exposure you have. Then we'll start the conversations about income planning, tax and inflation planning, inheritance planning. All of the pieces of the retirement puzzle will come together in those meetings with our All-Star advisors. And when you walk out the other end of that process, you will know where you'll be in 5, 10, and 20 years, where your family will be, and you'll have the security and peace of mind of knowing that you, for the first time, you have a true fundamental financial plan. So pick up the call, take advantage of this, come sit down with one of our All-Star advisors. We can't wait to sit down and see how we can help.
Paul, thank you so much. To the viewers at home, the phone number to call is on your screen. That number is 228-388-2031. We have to take a very short commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to talk to Paul about what makes a great advisor. Stay tuned.
How confident are you in your current financial plan? Do you know with certainty how the recent market volatility will affect your future hopes and dreams? How much are you paying in taxes? And how much are you losing to unnecessary high fees? You didn't work to save this money so that you could spend your time worried in retirement. Now is the time to take charge of your finances so you can feel confident about your future. Call in during the next 30 minutes of today's show only to set up an absolutely complimentary, no obligation, full-blown financial review that will result in your own customized written plan. This is a $999 value that we're giving away complimentary to the first 10 people who respond. We'll start with a full-blown analysis of what you already have by running a report to untangle how much you are currently paying in fees, how you're allocated for risk, and what it's costing to work with your current advisor. Next, we'll identify your goals. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Where do you want to go, and who do you hope to go there with? Is your current financial plan set up to get you there without mishap? Let's design a roadmap to create a financial plan you can follow with confidence. Get the piece that so many people are missing from their retirement. Find out how having a written plan can make a difference to your retirement dreams. Call now to schedule your complimentary, no-obligation, full-blown financial review today.
And welcome back to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Paul Roberts. He's president and CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, obviously talking a lot during the commercial break, but want to share this with the viewing audience. What makes a great financial advisor?
There's a whole lot in that question, isn't there, Cynthia?
Absolutely.
So one of the first things I would start off with is who do they work for, right? Do they work for a company or do they work for the client? The beauty and the benefit of our clients have working with Roberts Wealth Management is that we're an independent firm. We have no corporate hierarchy. We don't answer to anyone. And so we actually work for the client, not for the company. Personally, I think that's highly important. Secondly, do they work on a commission basis? We don't do anything that's front-loaded commissions. We work on a fee basis. So meaning, we charge a fee to manage our clients' assets, and the better their assets grow, the more our fees grow. So our interests are aligned.
Okay.
If their assets are not growing or they're losing money, our fees are decreasing, and we're going to do something about it. Not only that, if we're not performing or we don't meet the standards of the client, they're going to start leaving us and going other places. Then our fees and our income is going to go down significantly.
Sure.
So our interests are aligned, being a fee base, that we always have to perform, and we're constantly incentivized to keep up the best job we can for the client and keep the client happy and do the best we can. So commissions versus fee-based, a big deal. Then I think what truly, though, just makes a great advisor is probably the essence or the spirit of the person, right? How devoted and committed are they to what they do for their client base? How committed are they to continuing education, continuing research, to always staying forward-looking, to always knowing what's coming next, and always watching out for their client base with their best intentions? I think being a great advisor is also being a fiduciary. If someone is not holding a fiduciary, is not held to the fiduciary standard by their licensing, then how do you know that they're doing what's in your best interest?
Yeah.
They don't even have to expose to you if there's a conflict of interest. You know, like we tell somebody, I had a situation with a client who come in to see me one time, and it's been years ago, but we're going to touch on this lightly, but
Okay.
he was unaware. He came to me and he said, I need to sue this broker. I said, well, why do you need to sue the broker? He said, he's lost all of my money and my wife's having an affair with him, and I had no idea that any of this was going on.
Oh,
And I said, well, you can't sue him. He said, well, what do you mean? I said, he's only held to the suitability standard, not to the fiduciary standard, and he does not have to expose to you conflicts of interest. He said, but he's having an affair with my wife. Isn't that a conflict of interest to him managing my money? I said, it doesn't matter. He doesn't have to expose that to you. He has legally done nothing wrong.
wow.
And has no liability or responsibility in the situation, okay? That's why it's important and it's paramount to make sure one has a fiduciary
Sure.
obligation to you.
Sure.
But like I said, more or less, not just that, it's the commitment, the passion, who they are. You know, I'm on the road every month. We're around the nation. We're constantly educating ourselves. We constantly do research. I don't work in the role as an advisor anymore. You know, all of my advisors see the clients and take care of everyone and everything, but my job is two things, is to first of all research. I am a research fanatic. I spend about 4 hours a day, every day of my life, doing research. So my job is to spend half of my day researching, spend half of my day spreading those messages and educating the public, and then just guide and lead my team and make sure that they stay on track, they stay humble, they never forget where they come from,
Yeah.
and that they're always there to serve our clients in their best interest. But, you know, how much does someone put in?
Yeah,
It's the old
yeah.
rule, you get out what you put in.
That's true.
And people ask us all the time, why is your firm blowing up? Why have you grown so exponentially, and why aren't any other firms around seeing what you, because you get out what you put in.
Absolutely. Paul, how many advisors do you have now?
5.
You
We
have
have 5
5,
now on our
okay.
team, yeah. And which is a great benefit to our clients, because what we
Yeah.
have done is we've created a completely different situation than you've seen in any other financial firm. You see,
Yeah.
most financial firms that have more than one advisor, first of all, one conflict of interest I see is that the advisors are all competing with each other for business and new clients, right? Well, how is that going to create the right energy and the right synergy and culture within your company?
Yeah.
So we don't have that problem, because all of our clients are all of our advisors' clients, okay? All of our advisors, instead of being commission-based or paid individually on each client, they're all in a profit-sharing, participatory business model, so that it doesn't matter which one of the 5 advisors saw the client, or which one of them did the case design, who did the tax planning, who did the income planning. Our advisors actually work as a team on every new client case coming in. Okay? Every Monday, all 5 advisors sit down and go through all the new incoming clients' files, and they design their case specifically for them.
Wow.
Well, then our advisors also specialize, right? One of them is more of a tax specialist. One of them is more of a market specialist. One of them is an income specialist. One is a Medicare and Social Security specialist. Now, all of them across the board are good advisors in all general areas. I would say the best advisors around. But instead of just being good at everything, we don't try to be a jack of all trade. We want each one of them to just be the master of one. Right? If taxes is your ball game, I want you to know taxes deeper and better than anyone else, and that's how you bring value to the client and you come into the picture.
Yeah.
The other great thing is the clients don't have to worry about their advisor being out, right? Because it's not their advisor. The whole team is their advisor.
That's true.
One's out sick, that's okay. The other one steps in their shoes. They're already familiar with them. They already have a relationship with them. They know them. They've already been part of their planning process, and they're familiar with it. And so any of our advisors can step right in and fill the shoes of each other at any given time.
Yeah.
And the clients love that, and they just love to have a team and know that, hey, for the price of one head, you're getting 5. That's a pretty good deal, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Paula. I think this is the perfect time for us to reopen the phone lines. Would you agree?
Right,
All
yes,
right.
yes.
To the viewers at home, the phone number to call is on your screen. That number is 228-388-2031. We know you have a lot of questions about how to plan your perfect stress-free retirement. The All-Star team is waiting for your call. Once again, that number is 228-388-2031. We have to take a very short commercial break, but don't go anywhere. I'm going to have so much more with Paul when we return.
Hey folks, this is Paul Roberts, your host of Retire Right Radio and TV. I'd like to invite you in for a one-on-one consultation with one of our All-Star advisors so we can get you set on the path to retire right.
Meeting our son.
Crazy road trips.
Memories with Grandpa.
Family and friends.
My first job.
My fourth job.
Exploring our world.
Our world. Our first date.
Our
Our
special song.
Secure your retirement by meeting with a financial advisor.
Hey folks, let us help you make your retirement dreams a reality. Give my office a call today. Hey folks, this is Paul Roberts, your host of Retire Right Radio and TV. I'd like to invite you in for a one-on-one consultation with one of our All-Star advisors so we can get you set on the path to retire right.
And welcome back to Retire Right TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio. I'm joined today by Paul Roberts. He's president and CEO of Roberts Wealth Management. Paul, we were talking during the commercial break about the fact that you are actually growing and expanding. So let's talk about where you're going.
Well, we have a new office that we opened in the last few months in Mobile, Alabama. We're just off of the I-65 corridor on Airport Road. A beautiful new office that we've set up. We've got it staffed. We've got advisors over there. We're expanding, and we're constantly expanding, and we're going to continue to constantly expand because we're on a mission. We're on a mission to save retirees, to help them, to secure them, to educate them. We're here, we want to help everybody out there, and you can't help everybody out there if you're not everywhere. So we're continuing to expand, we're continuing to move. We got a lot of clients in the Mobile area we already had, so it was a very easy move for us in, and we have a high demand over in that area. We have a lot of clients who drive from Mobile all the way to Biloxi for us. We've got over 150 clients over there that make that drive for us. So it's a lot more convenient for them now. They love the fact that we're right there in their neighborhood, and it's that much easier for them to refer us their friends and relatives and other people because we're present in the area, and we're changing lives over there, and we're doing a lot of work. It's good stuff, you know.
Absolutely, it is. What does it feel like when someone comes into the office for the very first time? What can they expect?
Well, kind of what they can expect is to experience meeting a group of some of the finest individuals I've ever been fortunate enough to surround myself with. My team is amazing individuals, and they want the best for every single person. You see, our team motto is they deserve better, because everybody that we touch and everybody we help, we know that they deserve more, okay?
Yeah.
You see, these are people that did what they were supposed to do, right? They were told, go to work, put money in that 401k, save for retirement, and hopefully one day it'll all work out. Now they're all faced with a situation where we've got Social Security issues. We're not going to get COLA increases in Social Security. It's majorly underfunded. That's causing a lot of, strife with people and a lot of concern.
Yeah.
We have not only the Social Security, we have so many different aspects out there where people are. It's really just what we call a do-it-yourself retirement world today, right? Here's your 401k, good luck. And so then another big situation that a lot of people aren't paying attention to is the entire baby boomer generation put away majority of all their wealth and retirement savings in pre-tax accounts. So they were told, go to work, put money in the 401k, and one day you'll get to retire. Now they're getting to that retirement stage and they're going, oh my God, I'm scared the market's going to crash and destroy my 401k. And every dollar I pull out of my 401k is taxable as income, and taxes are going through the roof. So I was sold this idea and this dream of retirement, and I feel I deserve more. And we feel that those people deserve more, and that's what we deliver for them. And that's why my team wakes up and so passionately does what they do all day, every day. You don't have to motivate my team. You don't have to encourage my team. They love what they do. They know that they're making differences in people's lives, and they're bringing value, a great value to the community and to the people who surround them. And every person that we help is that much better off our community is going to be in the future. And it doesn't hurt that they make a lot of money, right? So
Well,
they make good money doing
Right.
what's right for people. How could they complain about that? How could you not love that, right?
Well, that is true. And also, people have always commented how they feel like when they come into the office, they are the only person there. They're the only person that matters. And that's such a huge testimonial, because so often in life, we feel that we're being rushed
Yes.
from one appointment to the next. And the fact that your team takes the time to listen is a huge testimonial to you, Paul.
Well, my team understands it's not about them. It's
Yeah.
about the client, right? It's
Yeah.
about you. And they make that very understood and very clear in the office. Anyone who comes in and sits down with our advisors, they
Yeah.
feel that, they experience it, they know that the entire meeting and everything was about them, and it wasn't about the advisor. I never want to see one of my advisors trying to show somebody how smart they are or
Yeah.
talking about themselves. You don't matter here. We love you. We want you to be a good advisor, but they're the ones who matter, and the focal point is them at all times.
I love
And,
that.
they're great at it. They're great. I'm truly blessed to have such amazing people around me.
Well, and I know they feel blessed to have you as their leader. Paul, we have about a minute left in the show this week. Any final things you want to share with the viewers before we close and say goodbye?
I do. We're in new times. We're in changing times. Everything is changing. There are so many risks out there associated with your future financial plans and your future risk that people are not talking about, that it's time for us to bring those conversations to the table. My question to you would be, whoever you seek financial advice from, are they talking to you about future taxation, future inflation, future market vulnerability, real estate market vulnerability, any of the vulnerabilities or risks that you have in succeeding in your financial picture going forward? And what I'm finding is not enough people are having these conversations. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to challenge you today. If you're not having these conversations with whoever you seek advice from, is that acceptable? When should you have these conversations? When's a good time to start them? Pick up the phone, come sit down with one of our All-Star advisors. Let's start that conversation today.
Paul, thank you so much. The viewers at home, thank you for watching. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. We'll see you back here 1 week from today.